welcome to Selene. Please follow me, I'll show you to your table.
So welcome to Selene Restaurant. It's a pleasure to have you here. This is the pathway to our restaurant. This little tunnel is part of an old Catholic monastery, a Dominican monastery. It's a 200-year-old monastery, which has been partly acquired by Selene Restaurant and his garden hotel, and it's actually partly active. So there are 14 Catholic nuns living in the monastery, so on the other side of this wall. 2 are from Greece and 12 from different places of the world. They follow the Dominican Church. And Selene Restaurant has been based in this space for the last couple of years. Selene has a 36-year-old history. It actually has a legacy in Greek cuisine because it played a very important role in the evolution of contemporary Greek gastronomy. In the 80s, where there was a need for a kind of a gastronomic identity to please the tourism that was something new for Greece. A new kind of gastronomic identity emerged, which was very stereotypical foods, you know, the moussaka, the choriatiki, the tzatziki, and so on. And there were very few places, very few restaurants that had the audacity to do something different, to do something creative. Maybe you can count them in the fingers of one hand. Very few restaurants. What they did was invested in local ingredients, in local recipes. They took some gastronomic techniques from more gastronomically developed countries such as France, and they presented something different, which led to what we now know as creative Greek gastronomy. And we have a kind of a thing where we hold some landmarks of Greek gastronomy, of Selene, landmarks, historical landmarks such as the opening of the restaurant. Then we have the restaurant which moved to Pyrgos. Then the restaurant moved to this place. It was the management by Mr. Ettore Botrini, which is now the executive chef. So for each of those landmark times, we have one little treat for you, and this is how we try to present the history of the restaurant. So, in order to commemorate the history of Selene, we have some small dishes which represent a landmark time for the history of the restaurant. This is 1986, which is the opening of Selene, and we're serving anidrous cherry tomato, very unique ingredient for Santorini, very simple, infused in citrus and tomato water. For your second bite, we have katsuni, which is indigenous type of cucumber. It's an anidrous cucumber. What's unique about those ingredients is that they need no water to grow, so they're very special, very indicative of their terroir. No water in Santorini at all, no green. So here we have fava bean puree, which we call padremeni, which means married, because it has a little bit of caper yachni. It's a traditional cooking method. Here, in order to commemorate the time 2019 when Selene moved to Fira. So in order to commemorate the time when Selene moved to Fira, we have a tartlet with red mullet and white aubergine from the island. So here we have fried sphere of anchovies. It's inspired by Atherinopita, which is a traditional Santorini pie. And in order to commemorate 2021, which is the year that Mr. Botrini took management of Selene Restaurant, we have an air baguette with prosciutto, homemade by him. Sofia and Joanna are offering it to you.